these are some hunting-related narrative, and this first one actually does directly borrow some phrases from an essay about, I think it's called Hunting in Cattle Country, about being in Montana by Roosevelt. Marooned by organs. Hoo-wee, bighorn or prong buck, I'm fat for backs hunched against Arctic. Beecham's off collecting buffalo pies to hold back toothache. Pain, a furrow for hide hunters to finger when we run out of bullets and spit. Hormone circles, panting, free range through rabbit brush lungs, cliff rose kidneys. Gait, the kind of country broken by ditches and ravines and cantering hard as anything. Blood soak intestine, windpipe between pink flesh. Gorges fill with patches of ash from when we burned lust. From rut to rut, grunt and bark, gun oil, slick, crack, slurping, dicks, rank growth. Inside his skin, a grange of muscles tethered to muscles. Okay, this is every building is a grave, and there's a series of these, but this is the second one. Every building is a grave. Here did time tremble in the fever. Here did the trees tumble from their tower. Limber to lumber, timbre to timber. And nests crushed and their eggs crushed. A vine pulls down 2 rotten rafters. When I had done with Grafton's Ridge and its 26 buildings, I vowed not to touch cock for a year, like a long Lent or a last-ditch prayer. Got as far as running out of coffee in a gambling house with lousy cots. I failed and found it in my hand. Like a clock, it ticked and twitched, mocking time. I felt his heartbeat trot against my thumb and measure me. A proportion of snarled hair and snagged nail. Hotter than a brass face in the sun. Longer and I can hold my breath. Hotter and longer than I recalled from my quick feats behind the brewers. Charlie's leaving for the backwoods. The backwoods is all the front now, all of them slickers and their oversized spurs coming out of the downspouts. He says he wants to be alone, except for the ticks. I congratulate his one-man outfit and give him a pair of gloves. Once he's gone, Lem says, "We'll never hear Charlie whistling." Not a premonition, just his look of an old wolf stalking snow, stalking moon lilies. So these kind of also travel back and forth in time, and the two characters, the two lovers, are kind of get flashbacks to their childhoods. So this is from a younger voice. Bruised by recoil. Paws, felt hats fell to my nose. Eyes in a cave of sweat and hair grease. Shoot, shoot. My fingernail across the grosgrain ribbon like a shrunken washboard. Paw false yells. A vermin stole my best hat, and no matter who it is, even if he be bald, even if he be a preacher, I'm shooting this robber neatly in his spine so no drops of blood stain the brim, or chin strap, or vault. That's how we treat robbers in Washoe, yep, My laugh swoops around the inside of the cave, like baby bats discovering wings. The sun hurts when he rips it off. Good thing my gun's in my other holster. Guess you alive. Pa's 5 hats, black, faded black, chestnut brown, sugar brown, and blonde, on 5 iron hooks beside their brush. 4 beads on 4 straps, and the blonde one naked for when there's no wind. 5 times he emptied coins on Bannister's counter and pointed. Where's Pa? Hiding behind the wardrobe, my steps quiet as rabbits. Where's Pa? Pulling on Ma's soft cap, with rabbit fur lining, his hands petting it real slow, and his oily face in the vanity, a woman's face now. Seasons speed over his eyelids in a crazed orbit. Then he turns, and the rush of wind tunnels through my heart, slamming its door so hard the pitchers jump. Jesus tips off the boat, and Samuel choking on his beard. Crudities of expression, and this that phrase "crudities of expression" is also borrowed from something that I didn't write down, but something Tom writes about. The knowing steals across his face like it weren't so blessed after all to be a man born to language. I have too many words for it, tiny pebbles in my boots rubbing blisters. And Lem has even worse, overheard in Denver, in Akron, in church. I wait, eyes down, for him to fish a ragged term out and slap me with it. We'd be done for good. 1 breath, 2. Then all he says is, "Aw, hell," and pushes his small face into my neck like a horse. Everything they learned him about bodies is from animals. Curry combs, diverticulitis, and the hum you need to get a horse to step into a cold stream when she can't see the bottom and might have to swim if it gets too deep to keep her footing. Tonight, I'm a stiff pond, fresh, froze, terrible hush. Lem's weight flattens, rehearsing the warnings. How many disappeared through a hole? Nothing is worth the risk of the first week freeze. My water waits to ambush him with a shock that knocks his lungs from dam to plaint. He nudges further, listens for a crack's tinkle. I trace his hands through my ice ceiling. Fingers play, creases magnify, pads melting mirrored ovals, budding fracture. He ought to retreat, retract weight onto mud for him to live. I ought to trust my crystal to hold him. Bequeathal. Lem reaches for the crock of bear grease, and my cock stiffens like a corpse. He smears the seam with a calloused thumb. It gleams a fat and skin feast. I leave my fear in a jar, near enough to hear his heave, his stiff beavers sawing my hand clear and dragging it to a leak. The least trickle will lead to a larger breach, rethreading lake to river. a dam, a single bead of water. His treasure hair curls a beard around my lips. Lem, raring to cleave my breath into now and the hereafter. What the devil sows, we moreover reap. The old dread tears my eyelids off. I swear we signed a treaty where Lem is the beast handler and I'm leather. But those in league with the devil must break bread. I'll sooner choke to death on pleasure than let a man's cream sear me. Lem's not a man, though. He's annealed to metal that proves me mere flesh. Flesh meddler, flesh carver. Wean me from shame. My sweat's asleep. Defeat my weapon with wheels across my ass. Wheels and a wealth of fried beaver.